Expanded local news. Taylorville Community Unit School District Number 3 says it is working with local law enforcement after a possible threat against the junior high was posted on social media. In a letter sent to parents, Superintendent Brandy Bruley said district officials to their student resource officer and local police. Bruley noted that any student who makes such threats will face consequences and disciplinary action. At this time, school officials say they do not believe and still do not believe that there is any imminent danger to students or staff. Bruley assured parents that the well-being of students remains the district's top priority and emphasized that schools are safe for students to attend. The district says it will continue to work closely with local law enforcement as the investigation continues. A boil order has been issued for 27 customers in the village of Edinburgh following a water main break. That's according to an Illinois incident report filed with the Christian County Health Department on Wednesday, September 4th. The affected area spans from South Curtis Street between Franklin Street and Harrison Street. Village officials say there is no critical infrastructure impacted by the break. The boil order is expected to remain in effect through Thursday, with updates to follow pending water quality tests. The Illinois Environmental Protection Agency, Illinois Department of Public Health, and National Response Team Program were notified of the incident. You may contact the Edinburgh Water Treatment Facility for additional questions and information at 217-623-4213. The Pana Police Department is on a positive run. The Tri-County Fair and the Labor Day Parade are complete, with no major issues for the department to address. The most recent crime numbers are down overall, albeit with increases in certain categories. Pana Police are also continuing in their efforts to help those in the community suffering from drug addiction to get help and to recover. Meanwhile, there's new trends in thefts from storage units and other suspicious activities, especially at night. Police Chief Daniel Bland urges anyone who witnesses any kind of action like this to report it, whether day or night.
We just over the last couple of months, the storage units we have here in town seem to be targeted by just a few individuals who seem to think that it's an easy way to get in, cut locks, take things. So we're asking for the public to report all hours, day and night, if they see people around. And it's hard to determine because people go into their storage units, getting things out, but yet to report if there's suspicious activity, people around, especially in the middle of the night when it's very uncommon for people to collect things from their storage units. But we've unfortunately had a few too many times where a lock's been cut on a couple of storage units here in town. We know actually who's doing it, just a matter of proving it. We've identified one subject in particular who's out on pretrial release for multiple offenses. Seems to be just waiting for his day in court to eventually be held accountable. But we want the public to report that.
The Pana Police Department works with several organizations and initiatives on combating drug abuse. Their goal is to steer community members to the resources that they need rather than to incarcerate them. This allows these individuals to focus on getting better and, in the case of one recent example, pay it forward.
When you do see positive stories, and just recently there's two individuals that have made a recovery. One individual in particular absolutely was just a struggle in our community, caused issues regularly, whether it was thefts or fighting or you name it, it was a problem, regular repeat offender, we would call them. And this subject entered into recovery, successful. He no longer lives in our area, relocated, but he's back in our area now, making an impact on others who are in that same struggle that this individual was in. And just over the weekend, I saw two different individuals that have made major changes. And when a small community like Pana is, it doesn't take but just so many, just a small number of people to create, chaos and thefts and just turn our city sometimes upside down with.
New incident data from July shows calls and other related statistics fell. This is a contrast to typical summer patterns where numbers usually rise.
Yeah, overall, the month of July, even into August, our numbers were down, which normally in the summertime your numbers increase. Our calls for service were down in areas that normally we see an effect on, thefts and burglaries, car thefts, things that the victims of crimes really have a major impact on. Those numbers are down through the summer, which is a very good thing. Naturally, we try to target the cause of those crimes. We're happy with the numbers. Naturally, we did see a slight uptick in domestic calls, violation of order protection calls, things of that nature where we think, I don't know whether it's the heat that we went through, the financial struggles some families are going through, just relationship issues and things. We did see an uptick in the domestic calls, which are a dangerous call for us because they're very volatile.
Chief Bland was involved in the security preparations for the fair and parade last weekend. The events typically draw around double the number of visitors compared to the other large happenings in the city. This meant many people in the police department and other agencies had to step up.
Naturally, everybody from our agencies working. We call in support from the sheriff's office. We have auxiliary officers, those that are trained and have the certification required now. Much different than years ago, where a lot of agencies, whether reserves or auxiliary, you had men and women who just volunteered their time. There's been restrictions placed on that because of liability issues. So naturally, staffing is a major concern. Once we get staffing to what we can have available, then we start targeting just planning for traffic and control, and then we try to monitor. We can connect with agencies that try to monitor any type of threat action, threat assessment. All that goes into play as far as just anytime you have a major gathering of people, it brings in additional concerns.
More information on the Pana Police Department is available at cityofpana.org/police department. Police Chief Daniel Bland appeared as a guest on the WTIM Pana Morning Show. This will conclude the first portion of your expanded local news, and it's brought to you by Taylorville Community Credit Union.
This is Will Perkins with Taylorville Community Credit Union. Are you looking for a great CD rate? If you are, TCCU has amazing rates from our 7-month special to our 60-month CD. If you are looking for a great investment, now is the time to put your money to work in a TCCU CD. Our minimum deposit is $1,000. For more information, please contact us at any of our convenient locations in Taylorville, Pana, Hillsboro, Litchfield, or online at tccu.org. Dividends will be compounded monthly. A penalty for early withdrawal may be imposed. Fees could reduce earnings on the account. Member NCUA.
Kimmerer Village in Assumption is home to over 120 foster children, and many more stay on the residential side. This massive undertaking requires hours of work and community support, both of which Kimmerer Village is fortunate to have. An excellent way of supporting their mission is this Friday, September 5th, for the annual Kimmerer Village Golf Outing at Oak Terrace Golf Course in Pana. The need for help continues into the holiday season, however, when Christmas comes around. Staff members are working to gather sponsors to bring needed gifts to the children that are spending the holidays on their campus. Shalis Nagel, Executive Director of Kimmerer Village, first starts by sharing about their therapeutic riding programs. She states that horses have been in use at Kimmerer Village for various reasons for many years. Now, their focus is on therapy.
Kimmerer Village as a facility since 1914, we've always had horses, right? It started as a farm, so there were horses. We have original photographs of the kids, riding the horses, using the horses to complete work. So it's not a completely new part of Kimmerer Village Inc.'s programming, but I think in terms of its current state, that's just very exciting and new. We built an indoor riding arena based on a specific bequest, which facilitated that construction about 14 years ago. So we're very blessed to have a beautiful indoor riding arena with indoor stalls and storage facility for the hay, a horse washing station, all those really wonderful things to provide equine therapy to the community.
One of these programs is Ride, where community members can even ride one of their many horses. Kimmerer Village now touts 3 riding instructors, leading to more class availability.
So our RIDE program is a fairly new program. In January, we were able to certify 2 additional certified therapeutic riding instructors through the PATH certification program. We've had Amber Miller with us for a little over 14 years. She really grew the equine riding program. She has been PATH certified. She's also an LCSW. But with the addition of these 2 additional individuals as certified riding instructors, Grace and Bonnie, we were able to expand. So that's where the RIDE program came in. And RIDE stands for all kinds of things, obviously riding a horse, but in terms of resiliency, responsibility, regulation. I is independence, integrity, intuition. The D can be things like dependability, determination, and the E obviously for equine, empathy, all kinds of things that are good just to feed the soul.
The other side of these equine services revolves around their Horses and Heroes program. Designed for mentally or physically disabled children, the horses provide a meaningful relationship geared towards the need of each child in the program.
So Horses and Heroes is our riding program we've had quite a while. It's geared a little bit more to kids with some disability. It's a pretty broad definition. So any child with an IEP, a child whose family physician maybe would just recommend in riding that they experience therapeutic riding, then that will qualify them for Horses and Heroes. Horses and Heroes is partially supported by some community grants. So there are some more scholarships available for the Horses and Heroes program.
Scholarships wise, is it fairly easy to get yourself, get a hold of those? Is that something that I need to come through Kimmerer Village to be able to do so?
Yes, you would just contact Amber Miller there at Kimmerer Village, and you can reach her by amber.miller@kimmerervillage.org, or you can call our main number, 217-226-4451. Ask for Amber. Amber works Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, so she's there throughout the week, and she will talk to you about which riding program would best suit your needs and what financial support's available.
Coming this Friday at Oak Terrace in Pana will be the annual Kimmerer Village Golf Outing. Starting at 8 a.m., registered teams will kick things off following the raffle drawing held this morning.
We are just thrilled. We've done it for several years, over 30 years, but this year we have just had a huge outpouring of community support for sponsorships. And that's such a great thing because all of those funds go back to the Kimmerer Village mission. So the level of sponsorship this year has been incredible. Of course, Oak Terrace down in Pana is just so welcoming, and it'll just be a beautiful day, though temperature's going to drop a little bit. All of the golf teams are full again for this year, which is typically the case. This is a little bit earlier than usual. So we're really excited about that. We're looking forward to a great day. It will be at 8 a.m. this Friday. I will say we also have some raffle tickets if you go to our website, and those you do not have to be present to win. We are going to draw before the golf tournament, so we can announce the winners, but those are still out there to be had. So there's some great prizes.
And although Christmas may be a ways off, community members interested in donating gifts to many children Kimmerer Village supports is now underway.
We have had a church contact us in terms of gift for our kids. So we're very grateful. So I will go ahead and mention, if you call Jade at 217-226-2130, if you are interested in sponsoring a child for Christmas and you are one of those super early Christmas shoppers and you want to get that underway, we can give you that information. We do, because there is such interest in support and supporting our kids, we do go ahead and gather up some information about the things our kids are interested in. And those gifts can go to our residential treatment kids who live there on our campus, but we also support our 120 foster kids with Christmas gifts each year.
Find out more about Kimmerer Village at kimmerervillage.org. Shawless Nagel appeared as a guest on the WTIM Morning Show. The state of Illinois is facing a complaint from the U.S. Department of Justice over higher education costs. The complaint challenges state laws which allows undocumented immigrants living in Illinois to receive in-state tuition and state-financed scholarships. The DOJ filed the notice in Southern District of Illinois against the state of Illinois, Governor J.B. Pritzker, State Attorney General Kwame Raoul, and the state's public universities boards of trustees. State Representative Reagan Deering, who represents the State House's 88th District, praised the DOJ's move, saying it will prevent undocumented immigrants from accessing tuition benefits more easily than U.S. citizens. The complaint came shortly after Deering introduced similar legislation in the state House. House Bill 4097 has 7 co-sponsors, but, as of Wednesday, has not been brought to the floor of the state House. Getting an accurate read on the deer population in Illinois is difficult, but it's something that the Illinois Department of Natural Resources is looking at, and the Illinois Farm Bureau is following, says IFB's Anna McKinley. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker just signed deer nuisance legislation into law. The measure gives IDNR authority to issue deer removal permits based on the percentage of deer harvested under previous permits, and will allow for farmers and landowners that more flexibility that was needed in managing nuisance wildlife. This will conclude the second portion of your expanded local news, and it's brought to you by CNB Bank and Trust.
Farming never takes a day off, and neither should your banking. At CNB Bank & Trust, our regular business checking account lets ag businesses run smoothly, and you'll have anytime, anywhere access with digital banking, bill pay, a debit card, e-statement, even QuickBook upload, so you can focus on harvest, not paperwork, helping farmers do what they do best, grow. Stop by your local branch or visit cnbil.com today. CNB Bank & Trust, helping to open doors since 1854. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Moving now to obituaries, which can be found at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com and are brought to you by Sutton Memorial Home.
This is Chad Sparks. When you lose a loved one, your choice for making final arrangements should be with the compassionate family at Sutton Memorial Homes. They know the death of a loved one is difficult. Austin and Evan at Sutton's and the entire staff have devoted themselves to loving and caring for those in their community in their time of need. You can trust Sutton Memorial Homes to assist your family in making final arrangements that will be a tribute to your loved one. Sutton Memorial Homes, caring is what they do best.
49-year-old Tanya S. Fancher Stanley of Taylorville died on August 27th. A celebration of life will be on September 6th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Davis Memorial Christian Church in Taylorville. Jack Lee Beatty of Taylorville died on September 2nd. Visitation is September 6th from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville. Funeral service will be September 6th at 11 a.m. at Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville. Burial will be at Old Stonington Cemetery. Funeral arrangements are being handled by Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville. 92-year-old Clifford E. Aller of Edinburgh died on September 3rd. Visitation is September 8th from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Bethel Baptist Church. Funeral service will be September 8th at 11 a.m. at Bethel Baptist Church. Burial will be at Bethel Cemetery with Veterans Honors. Funeral arrangements are being handled by McClure Funeral Home and Cremation Services. 89-year-old Sister Jenna Rose Beckler of the Adorers of the Blood of Christ died on August 29th. Visitation is today, September 5th, from 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. at Benedictine Living Community Chapel. The Mass of Christian Burial will be on September 5th at 1:30 p.m. at the chapel. Burial will be at the ASC Cemetery in Ruma. And Paula J. Koonsman of Shelbyville, formerly of Warrensburg, will have a celebration of life being planned for October 12th of 2025. Funeral arrangements are being handled by Howe and Yaki Funeral Home in Shelbyville. Get details on these and other local news stories at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com or on WTIM. WTIM is your only local news radio.